What's good, everybody? Welcome in to the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not close. I, of course, am the coach, and we have a very, very busy day at the brand today. But first, as always, the most transparent show in sports betting as well. Here's how we did last night. Not a bad night at the brand. The Chiefs, we were heavy on them minus the 7, and hell, they could have covered if not for a couple of the worst calls you'll ever see in football. But, as always, my man Buckets, 2-0 yesterday. Plenty of Champions League soccer today. And by the way, Buckets is in the chat right now. You have any soccer questions? Go ahead and shoot them in there, and he will answer them for you in real time. Now, I said it's a busy day at the brand. Let's show you the schedule because we have additional shows that we always have. Turn on those notifications. Every time a show starts, you'll be notified. You won't miss 1 second of the content later today. This is, as Mikey says, the most important hour of the week, our NFL Week 6 mega preview at 4:30 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. And then, of course, tomorrow, AB and the boys with our college football mega preview as well. Let's bring in the stars of the show because we've got baseball, we have hockey, we have soccer, we have it all. And look at the three faces I have. First and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Squared. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody. Can't wait for today. We get a little playoff baseball at noon local time here on a Tuesday. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's go.
I love playoff baseball games all day long, which means the janitor's closet will be wide open live from Nashville, Tennessee, 8 floors below our 5-tool player. AB, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy to be here. Not happy about what we saw last night in the NFL. Everyone that was involved in that process should be embarrassed with themselves. There was a referee show that ruined an entire game. And not to be super negative about it, but we've also seen in 2 straight nights that teams are electing not to kick field goals, not to kick extra points. And it is absolutely going to affect betting total games across the NFL. So pay attention to it because there are some seriously ignorant decisions that are being made. And we've seen it the last 2 nights that have literally cost teams winning games.
Now, normally we wouldn't be as negative as AB said, but this is embarrassing. Yeah. I mean, I thought it would be another 30 years before we saw a call as bad as the Tom Brady call on Sunday. And it took all of, 30 hours to get a worse call than that one. Oh, and that absolutely affected the spread.
And it affected both teams. This morning, you hear people the Raiders, they got tricked. Well, the Chiefs did too. Yeah. Right? Like, it's not like it affected just one team, but it was just it was embarrassing. I was not happy with that last night.
And then when you have the referee after the game justifying the call, that makes it even worse. Right. But as always, what does the Meister always say? That was then. This is now. We must look forward. So let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And Johnny B, you have been chomping at the bit after you hit all those futures on baseball. As the season ends, then you're flipping the script into playoff handicapping. The floor is yours.
Yeah, let's do it, Coach. So I want to give a little bit of an MLB Division Series preview. And we're going to get into it a little bit, but all the favorites in all 4 of these series are minus 200 or higher, which makes for handicapping this round extremely difficult. Do not try to make a ton of money on this round. This is not the round to do it. You should not be just playing every favorite. This is also the first division series where there have been 2 or 3 full games played before we get into the division series. So usually that means in a 1-game wild card, you'd have just your ace if you're the team pitching the wild card series going. Whereas a lot of these teams had their ace and their second best pitcher going in the first series. So they now have their third best pitcher going in the division series. It changes a lot of things around, but it does give those teams a chance to pitch their ace twice in the division series. I'll get into that a little bit, but this, I think that we're going to have a maximum of 1 upset in the first round. I think because of the changes in the format that we're going to get maybe 1 upset and have 3 teams favorites win. So that being said, that doesn't mean play minus 200 favorite every game. There will also be a lot more laying off for playoff games. So we're not going to pick every game. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, be very, very careful. Of course, there's picks at SportsLine, and if you are not a SportsLine member, there's never been a better time than right here, right now. Use the promo code EARLY. I'll give you 30 days for free. You can get all of Johnny B's baseball stuff at SportsLine just like that. All right, his picks are coming up, but we've got to get into our picks for the day. And as I said, we've got a little bit of everything. But before we get to that, we got to pay those pesky little bills. Here's a word from one of our incredible partners. And we are back. For those watching on YouTube, welcome. Apple, Spotify, welcome to you as well. So today we've got four big plays from SportsLine itself. First, it is the official, unofficial start of the hockey season. You know Alabama, you know Johnny B are going to be rocking and rolling with the hockey picks. But today we're going to go over 5.5, kind of an homage to last season when goals were aplenty. Over 5.5, minus 115, Lightning Rangers, 2 games tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and then a late one as well for you hockey fans. Then the Champions League, back at it today, group stages. I encourage you to go to social media. Buckets just posted a video about 30 or 45 minutes ago, and it's a great description of how today matters, of how today can be the end for some teams, can be the future for some teams. Today's a very particular day in Champions League betting. Go watch that video. So we have 3 plays from each one of our cappers, Brand Sutton, the Guru, and of course, Buckets. So our first play, Juventus and Maccabi Haifa. Today's all about goals. We're going to go over 2.5 plus 320. Juventus starting to find form, but they also give up goals. We love this place. Plus 320, I guess, is what it is. I'll double check that. Then from the Guru, first one Buckets, second one Guru. Both teams are scoring over 2.5. Means both things have to happen, but it's minus 110. We love that number as well. Then the final play from Brant Sutton. He's kind of the silent assassin when it comes to our soccer plays at SportsLine. We're going to go AC Milan, Chelsea. Both teams to score minus 130. Also in that video I talked about for Buckets, he has this as a lean. So both guys like this play. I encourage you to get it in before it goes up. All right. Now, when I got 3 absolute rock stars, when I have 3 absolute legends, where do I start? Well, sometimes you need to pick yourself up. This is the unofficial start to our week here at the Early Edge. So I haven't done it in a while, but I feel like today we kind of need it. So M squared, you know the drill, son. It doesn't matter if it's baseball, playoffs, hockey starting, soccer getting ready for the World Cup. We got it all. Give it to me.
All right, Coach. I'm definitely the man to come to if you need some energy on a Tuesday morning here. We're going player prop here. Austin Riley, over 1.5 total bases, plus 120. Love the plus money here. Makes a lot of sense in the playoffs. Things tighten up. That's why we're seeing pretty significant plus money at plus 120. However, he absolutely crushes left-handed pitching. 455 weighted on base average versus lefties with pretty ridiculous power numbers. That number balloons to 476 at home, putting him right behind Paul Goldschmidt as the best player in Major League Baseball against lefties. Ranger Suarez on the mound for the Phillies has really been dominant against lefties. 236 weighted on base average. That number balloons to 330, putting him below average in Major League Baseball against right-handed hitters. Love this spot for Austin Riley where he's hitting in the lineup. He's pretty protected because of how strong this lineup is. Let's go over 1.5 total bases plus 120.
And that game starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time, so get that play in. Don't tweet at us at 3:30 and go, oh, Coach, I bet. No, we told you right here live. Mikey, thank you very much. Now, what do I do? Well, when AB's got a kisser that looks like that this morning, then I think he's laser focused. I believe that AB's dialed in today. So with all due respect, Johnny, I'm going to have to go to you next. So can you also answer the question from the chat? What's the significance of the baseballs behind you on your background? And then you can go into your picks.
Yeah, well, real quick, I've got a ton of baseballs essentially that I care about signed. My favorite one, I've showed it before, Pete Rose signed. I'm sorry I bet on baseball. Another favorite, I have Luis Gonzalez, the year that he hit the walk-off in the World Series off Mariano Rivera. I have a signed baseball from him that year, which I think is super cool. That might be one of my favorites as well. But getting into my plays now, I've got 3 plays for you guys today. My first play is going to be a parlay. And as I mentioned, the odds aren't very favorable this round, so we're going to have to mix and match some things and kind of handicap it. But my favorite play here, we're going to go with the Braves to win the series, parlayed with the Astros to win the series at plus 110. So I think these are the 2 teams that are playing the best right now. They both have massive advantages by facing the 3-starter in game 1, as I mentioned as well. This is really the first time that that's going to be happening. The Phillies went 8-11 against the Braves this season, so they've given them a fight, but the Braves should want to defend their title. Then we've got the Astros. I actually think this is the best roster of all the playoff teams, in my opinion. I think it's better than the Dodgers. I think the Astros, they have Justin Verlander, Framber Valdez, Lance McCullers at the top of their rotation. They have the best bullpen in the league this season. They're ranked 7th in the league in weighted on base average this season. So I think the Astros are actually the best constructed team in the playoffs. I like the Braves and Astros parlayed to win the division series. And my second play, we're going to jump around a little bit. We're going with the Braves here on the money line against the Phillies, minus 195. So as I mentioned, we're not going to be playing a ton of these minus 200 favorites, but we're going to get on a couple just because we kind of have to. The Braves are 11-8 against the Phillies and 6-3 at home this season. Ranger Suarez pitched well against the Braves the last 2 times he faced them, but he really did not the first 3 times this year. So he's already faced them 5 times as well. The Braves have seen him plenty. The Phillies' main strength in the first 2 games was their pitching staff. So I think they're going to need another dominant start in order to win this game, and I don't see that happening from Suarez, mainly because the Braves are 2nd in the league in weighted on base average against lefties. They have Austin Riley in the middle of the lineup, as Mike mentioned. The Phillies are good against lefties too, but the Braves are even better. So I like the Braves in game 1 there. And then my last play, we're going to go with the future. We're going to add one more future in the Astros to win the World Series at plus 380. So as I mentioned, I think this is the best roster in the playoffs right now. They have Verlander, McCullers, and Valdez at the top of their rotation, the best bullpen in the league. They have experience. They've made it to 5 straight ALCS, ranked 7th in the league in weighted on base average. I think this team should be the favorite over the Dodgers, and I think the NL is much harder to get through, so I like the Astros to win the World Series.
And I love this number at plus 380. So see how my guys are getting creative, because you can't play 4 minus 200 favorites. You just can't do that. It wouldn't be smart, and we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we told you to do that. Now, my man Clyde in the chat says, Johnny, can you say something about the Guardians? No, he cannot say something about the Guardians. But guess who can? Oh, the man who's in the maestro spot this morning, our 5-tool player, AB. You're up.
Yes, sir. All right, first off, we're going to get to the Guardians. Don't worry about that. But we're going to start with the Houston Astros. And everything that John Bowman just laid out is exactly right. I think that not only from the pitching perspective, from a bullpen perspective, but arguably from a hitting perspective too. Like the Braves, yeah, they've got a lineup that'll mash. Same thing with the Dodgers. But the Astros will go toe-to-toe with you, and they've done this over and over and over. Like, this is nothing brand new. In fact, we're taking the Astros team total over 3.5 today because I think this is actually the first time they've probably felt normal in 2 months. Like, they've had things wrapped up. They've just been waiting for this. Like, they're all professionals that have won in the playoffs multiple times. They're ready to do it. So we're going to take the Astros team total over 3.5. Next, Bowman also spoke out. I thought this was incredibly intelligent. Bowman spoke about there's going to be a team that's going to get upset. And you know what? The New York Yankees, that bullseye is right on you because you have been out front the entire season. And I'll tell you this, there was another team in college baseball that had it all season long, the Tennessee Volunteers. And you know what happened? They got there, and it was just too much. Like, you cannot play perfect all season long. It's a long, long season. So we're not only going to take the Yankees team total over 3.5, but we're going to take the Guardians team total over 2.5. So we're playing both team totals in that game today because the Yankees could come out and mash after seeing what the Mets just did and say, you know what, we're just going to hit our way through it. Great. We hit that. But I think the Guardians are going to put up some runs too. This is not going to be a low-scoring game. There's going to be pressure out there, and the Guardians have none of it. They're going to feel comfortable and smooth right there at the plate. So Astros team total over 3.5, Guardians team total over 2.5, Yankees team total over 3.5.
AB, I'm looking at the total for the game right now, and it sits at 7 at plus 105. What would be your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like for the Yankees-Guardians game?
Yes.
Yeah. I honestly, like, I like it. Like, I know Garrett Cole's on the mound. Like, I know that they have aces out there. But, you know, when there's pressure, especially on one team, like, it's either going to go one way. Like, the Yankees will either lose 3-0 or it'll be like 13 runs scored in this game. And I think it's going to be the latter. I think both teams are going to come up. They're going to come up swinging. So, yeah, if there were any over that I was going to play, probably be this one.
I don't know that there's an ace in baseball that can give up 6 or 7 runs easier than Garrett Cole. It's like, great. Oh, 3 home runs in the first inning. You're like, what?
Yeah, because you know Verlander's giving up just nothing. Like, he's just going to give you nothing, you know?
That's exactly right. All right, in the chat, by the way, we got to give a shout-out. Coach feeling happy after that Chiefs come from behind last night. I mean, sort of. Yeah, we won. Me and Mikey won, but we didn't cover the spread. But Whenever somebody gets into the club, we got to give them a public shout out. And even though it was very questionable that plus 1,000 for Devontae Adams was possible, he posted the receipt on Twitter. And so now, tip of the cap, Prop Stars is hanging out with the Maestro. What do you think they're doing in the club, guys? What do you think Prop Stars and the Maestro are doing in the club?
What's that drink that he was talking about? Muscavich? Is that what it was?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have to learn a lot of their Jewish stuff so we can go to their celebrations all the time when they're off for 3 days. We got to learn this stuff. We got to culture ourselves. Congratulations, Prop Stars. All right, grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap courtesy of Jake the Snake. Johnny B, 3 different kinds of bets. By the way, we'll have more best bets on Early Edge in 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Astros to win the World Series, plus 380. Very nice. And it's a future you can hang your hat on. It's only going to sit in your account for like 5 days. Nice. Braves on the money line. Game 1 starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, minus 195. Then a little parlay. Braves to win the series. Astros to win their series, plus 110. Then AB, we're going to go team totals. Astros over 3.5. Guardians over 2.5. Yankees over 3.5. All those games today. M squared one play so far. Austin Riley over 1.5 total bases. Saw some questions in the chat. It has to be a hit. It can't be a walk. It can't be an error. It can't be anything like that. It's got to be hits over 1.5 total bases. Then from the site, SportsLine itself, Lightning Rangers over 5.5. Then a play from the Champions League from all 3 of our amazing cappers, Brant Sutton, the Guru, and Buckets. Juventus, Maccabi, Haifa, over 2.5. PSG, Benfica, both teams to score and over 2.5 brings that number way down, which we love. Then AC Milan and Chelsea, both teams to score, minus 130. It is a busy day, a busy week at the brand, but we grind for you. And sometimes when you don't feel like it, that can be your best day. It can be one of your best days. So pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and say, hey, it's a Tuesday, but we can get after it. And with that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For our entire team, love them all. AB, Johnny B, M Square, Jake the Snake, all the ones and the twos. I am the coach. Turn on those notifications. Don't miss one single second of our incredible content right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.